Hi guys, I am here with your Bible reading. Today we are going to be over with the book of John, and we are going to be starting the next book of the Bible that's after John. What do you think that is? What comes after John in the Bible? John chapter 21 is the last chapter of John. And after John is the book of Acts. So we'll be starting Acts. And Acts is a lot, if not mostly, all about Paul. Sherm, do you got your hand in the cookie jar?
You got the cookie jar.
Oh yeah, I got the cookie jar. Never mind. Okay, so let's start the... Go stand in the corner. Now. Right. Okay. So let's begin with John. We'll be talking, this is when Jesus was on earth for 40 days before he ascended to heaven. This is some of the stuff that he'd done while he was here, after he rose from the dead. Like I said, many people seen him after he rose from the dead. He was on the earth for 40 days. His disciples seen him a lot. You know, if it wasn't true, why would they go through what they went through, getting beat and imprisoned? Out of 11 of them, one would have said, you know, this isn't true. I don't want to be beat or flogged or put in prison because of this. They know it was real. They know Jesus is the Son of God. They know they're going to a better place if something happens to them. So that's why they did what they did. And that's how we know about Jesus today. So we need to thank them for what they've done. All right. Afterward, Jesus appeared again to his disciples by the Sea of Galilee. It happened this way. Simon Peter, Thomas, also known as Didymus, Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, and two other disciples were together. "I'm going out to fish," Simon Peter told them. And they said, "We'll go with you." So they went out and got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Early in the morning, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples did not realize that it was Jesus. He called out to them, "Friends, haven't you any fish?" "No," they answered. He said, "Throw your net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some." When they did, they were unable to haul the net in because of the large number of fish. Then the disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, "It is the Lord." As soon as Simon Peter heard him say, "It is the Lord," he wrapped his outer garment around him, for he had taken it off, and jumped into the water. The other disciples followed in the boat, towing the net full of fish, for they were not far from shore, about 100 yards. When they landed, they saw a fire of burning coals there with fish on it and some bread. Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish you have just caught." So Simon Peter climbed back into the boat and dragged the net ashore. It was full of large fish, 153. But even with so many, the net was not torn. Jesus said to them, "Come and have breakfast." None of the disciples dared ask him, Who are you?" They knew it was the Lord. Jesus came, took the bread and gave it to them, and did the same with the fish. This was now the third time Jesus appeared to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," he said, "you know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my lambs." Us. The little ones. The little ones. Again, Jesus said, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He answered, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said, "Take care of my sheep," which is all of Jesus' followers. We are his sheep. The third time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him the third time, "Do you love me?" He said, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." Very truly, I tell you, when you were younger, you dressed yourself and went where you wanted. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will dress you and lead you where you do not want to go. Jesus was telling Peter this. Peter, I don't know if he understood or not, but Jesus was telling him the death that Peter was going to die. Jesus said this to indicate the kind of death by which Peter would glorify God. Then he said to him, "Follow me." Peter was going to be the one after Jesus to follow in Jesus' steps to be crucified. Peter was crucified, but he asked to be crucified upside down. So nobody could compare him to Jesus, I guess. So he was crucified upside down. Peter was crucified in the end, and upside down. Peter turned and saw that the disciple whom Jesus loved was following them. This was the one who had leaned back against Jesus at supper and had said, "Lord, who is going to betray you?" When Peter saw him, he asked, "Lord, what about him?" Jesus answered, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you? You must follow me." Because of this, the rumor spread among the believers that this disciple would not die. But Jesus did not say that he would not die. He only said, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you?" So pretty much just Jesus giving him an example, saying, why does it matter what I do? You shouldn't worry about what I do. You just do what I say, what I asked you to do. Don't worry about what I asked others to do. This is the disciple who testifies to these things and who wrote them down. We know that his testimony is true. Jesus did many things, other things as well, many things. If every one of them were written down, all the things that Jesus did, I suppose that even the whole world would not have room for the books that would be written. Those ain't my words, it's right here in the Bible. All the things that Jesus done, all the good things he done, there wouldn't be enough room in the whole world to put the books, to hold the books of all the stuff that he done. And that is the end of the book of John. We'll be starting the book of Acts soon. And like I said, that's mostly about the Apostle Paul, the book of Acts. So that's later on, a good while after Jesus ascended to heaven, and people had passed on or grown old and then had kids and grandkids, and Paul comes along then. But some of the disciples, if not all of them, are still alive, and still Paul ends up joining them. He used to be Saul. His name was Saul, and he worked for the prison guard. He was like a police officer back in those days, and they went around persecuting the Christians. People that were Christians, they killed a lot of them. They didn't want them around, and Paul was a big believer in that. He helped to kill people that were Christians. He arrested them, Christians. But then when Saul, his name was Saul then, remember? But then when Saul was on the road to Damascus to go get and arrest more Christians, that's why they were going there. Some of the disciples were there. He was blinded by a bright light, and everybody else couldn't see it. They just seen a bright light. But Paul, when that happened, when that happened, Jesus appeared to him and talked to him. And he was made blind for a time. But you best believe he believed after that. He knew Jesus was real, and he changed his ways and became a great follower of God and brought many, many souls to Jesus, like us, Gentiles. The apostle to the Gentiles is what Paul was known for. And they changed his name from Saul to Paul. And so if you ever heard the apostle to the Gentiles, that would be Paul, who used to be Saul. So that's what we're getting into in the book of Acts. Okay. So we finished Psalm 119 yesterday. So today we'll be reading Psalm 120, a song of ascents. I call on the Lord in my distress, and he answers me. Save me, Lord, from lying lips and from deceitful tongues. What will he do to you? And what more besides you, deceitful tongue? He will punish you with a warrior's sharp arrows, with burning coals of the broom bush. Woe to me that I dwell in Meshech, that I live among the tents of Kedar. Too long have I lived among those who hate peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. And that was Psalm 120, a Song of Ascents. And ending today's Bible reading is Proverbs chapter 16, verses 16 and 17. How much better to get wisdom than gold, to get insight rather than silver. The highway of the upright avoids evil. Those who guard their ways preserve their lives. Okay guys, that was our Bible reading for today. I hope it touched your guys' hearts. Get the prayer book here. Go through our list of names here. Thanks. Please keep Sherm in your prayers, Sherman Crabtree. He's got an appointment tomorrow and an appointment the day after. And that's just a couple of the appointments. And I got 2 at the end of the month. So we got a lot of appointments this week. And I got to get up early in the morning to call the hospital to find out where he's got to go for that test, because we're not sure if it's in the hospital building or a separate building or where it's at in the hospital. So I need to find out where to go. So he's got to be there, I think, at 10 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully I can get up and call them at like maybe 8 and they'll be open, hopefully. So I can find out, because his ride will be here at 9. They always come an hour before your appointment. Okay, please pray for Logan Cairns. He's got trouble with his leg. It's swollen and it's, painful. Please pray for Mike Cairns. He has Crohn's disease. Please pray for Zach Kirby. He has cancer. Please pray for Judy Thompson. She has cancer and some other things going on that she'll be having surgery for. An ulcer is one of them. Please pray for Judy Osborne. She has cancer. Please pray for Elizabeth Jeffries. She has skin cancer. Please pray for Barb Post. She has an immune disorder. Please pray for April and Linda Thacker. They both have a lot of chronic illnesses. Okay guys, that is everything for today. I hope it touched your guys' hearts. I hope you guys have a great week ahead. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again soon with the book of Acts. Bye guys. God bless.